Good evening and welcome to LUTV's coverage as Port Vale host Leeds United under 21s in the Vertu Trophy, and what will hopefully be another successful campaign for Leeds United's under 21s. We have a group that won the National League Cup last season, and this is a trophy that's very similar in terms of academy teams playing teams from the third and fourth tiers. Leeds United start their campaign with tonight's clash against Port Vale, and then they have further games in Group G against Accrington Stanley and Fleetwood. Port Vale are winless in 6 since their return to League One, but a chance for them. They'll be using this tonight to try and get some confidence under their belt, while Leeds will be looking to build on that win over Burnley last time out. As for the teams, Port Vale go with Marosi, Connor Hall, Jane Brown, Funzo Ojo, Liam Gordon, Rory Paton, Ben Waine, Jesse Debrah, Jack Shorrock, Kyle Jordan, Jordan Shipley. Darren Moore's bench is Blight, Headley, Heneghan, Curtis, Walters, Croasdale and Faal. As for Leeds United, Scott Garner's team, Ombang, Conor Douglas, Jaden Lienou, Alfie Cresswell, Ruben Lopata-White, Louis Enahoro-Marcus, Devon Brockie, Reece Chadwick, Harry Gray, Oliver Pickles and Josh McDonald. And then it's George Kenyon, Carrick and Njinko, Louis Dudley, Lewis Pirie, Callum Mills, Louis Whitehead and Will Firth. If you are wondering the random numbers on the team sheet, that is because if any of these youngsters are in the first team, that is the number they will wear. They haven't just picked them out of a hat to make my life hard. And Ben Parker's alongside me. We have a nice, I guess, pre-match photo, which is unusual in this stage of the competition. It seems like half the crowd are on the pitch at the present, Ben. But Friday was positive. It was a tough sort of occasion, playing on a big pitch. This is just the same. And Port Vale, if you were in this setup under Darren Moore, you won't want to lose or not beat Leeds United's under 21s. You've not won, you want confidence. Tonight, they'll be viewing this as like a must-win occasion, which makes our life a lot harder. Yeah,
good evening, Tom, and good evening to everyone tuning in. And we saw last season in the National League Cup, the inaugural one, how well this young group of players and the staff took to that competition, and to go all the way in that end with the first winners of that cup just showcases the step up and the mentality of this young group of players, because they've got to adapt. We know that playing against senior players, Connor Hall stands out for Port Vale, the captain who was in the League Two Team of the Year, and yet they've got some players who've been playing League One football for them, starting, coming off the bench, a little bit of a mixture, but it's going to be a strong Port Vale team that this young Leeds United team, all in blue tonight, will be coming up against. But again, these are the tests and opportunities the young players want to come up against.
I believe they're going to use a 3-4-3 formation tonight, Port Vale. The Leeds had been warming up in a back five, which we suggest would mean that Douglas is at right full back, Lienou at left, and that means that Cresswell's dropped in as a third centre half. In between Enahoro-Marcus and Lopata-White. And the teams are out a little early, which is very unlike the 21s. And that's why we just had to delay kick-off in tonight's Vertu Trophy game. So Ombang gets a run out in goal. Had a couple of opportunities last year to catch the eye. Ball played forward towards Gray, who now has Chadwick, who leans over his right shoulder to pick out his striker. No real urge from Leeds to hit the ground running and attack right from the off, just try to cool things down. But this back five offers some solidarity. It allows some extra protection, because of course you are playing against grown men, first team players at a good level of football, which there'll be many academy players that would love to play at. So having that extra cover will certainly help, and it will mean that Cresswell, I think when Leeds have got possession, will be more than happy to just glance further forwards. A slip here might be costly. Ombang's having to race off his line. Enahoro-Marcus is back. Great interception. There's an arm out to apologise. The slip came, and Leeds have managed to get away with one, but if the young centre-half wants a second career, a goalkeeper could be next in line. I mean, positioning, reactions, from nearly a disastrous start, Leeds can now kick on.
Well, we talk about, can you rectify your mistakes? Every player makes a mistake, more so being a young player, and as you mentioned, the young centre-half, where we passed, bit of a slip, should have been a tap-in for Port Vale. Don't know how quite they've not scored that unbelievable opportunity that got presented to them on a plate, let's be honest, but the reaction from the defender, young Leeds centre-half, back on the line just to clear the danger, and that is the warning.
Possession now is Ojo across the midfield to Shipley. Appeal for a pullback, but not given. Pickles races away out of traffic. Back to Ombang. Gets a decent boot away from his goal, and Gray picks up what was a loose touch into Brockie. Now Chadwick, Gray's peeled away at right wing, but Chadwick was trying to curl it towards Lienou. Port Vale intercept, and now they're on their marching orders to get forward here, and they're doing just that with Waine into a dangerous area. Enahoro-Marcus with another vital interception for Leeds United. To the far post, easy catch in the end for Ombang. He's had two opportunities to do some work, but as has that young man, who had the arrival from Liverpool. So we see a replay here of him overplaying it towards Lopata-White, who slipped. Port Vale probably did the right thing, Ben. Percentages, play it simply. But as you like I said, he could have felt sorry for himself. He could have tried to be the hero first and ran to the first man. Great awareness.
Yeah, it was. Usually as young defenders, I've been there myself, when you give the ball away or make a mistake, as you said there, Tom, just try and run towards the ball and affect the ball, but good awareness just to fill a space. Let's be honest, it should have been a goal, but got to be in the right place at the right time, and thankfully on the occasion we was.
Douglas. Up now to Lienou, who keeps hold of possession. There's an example now of Cresswell just dropping in as and when needed in possession, and then moving forward whenever the opportunity arises. Back out it goes for Leeds. Looks well worked. We've had the inverted wing backs the last couple of weeks. Douglas now inside Chadwick, across to Pickles. There was a 1-2 attempt. Chadwick just got bumped off the ball a little bit. Not enough though to put him off and take him off his stride. Into Douglas, trying to poke it through to McDonald. Brockie's going to try and put the pressure in and catch Ojo late. It will be a free kick. There can be no complaints. And nearly 5 minutes in. There's no air of nerves about the team, Ben. I mean, I know they've been here before in terms of played, you know, teams of grown men, but that was at National League. This is a higher level of competition. This should be tougher, but it doesn't look from their first few minutes like they're overawed by the occasion. No,
and it's a good point you made about young Alfie Cresswell making that little step into midfield when we do have the ball. And all that enables is just create that overload in the middle of the park. You saw him there, out of possession. He will filter back in to make that free at the back, two wing backs as well, make it more compact, but in possession. He's got the licence, as you can see him there, receiving the throw-in from the left back, just to, as I say, create that overload, try and get the ball moving, try and start dictating the build-up of play.
McDonald tried to flick it inside to Pickles, or Chadwick wins his team a throw-in anyway. Charges out from the back to put pressure on Hall, the skipper tonight. Port Vale have glided through midfield. In fairness, there's a player in Port Vale colours going to ground. There's a strong challenge coming in there as Douglas wins a free kick. It was, I think it was Paton, it was, that gave away the free kick. Had a great scoring record a couple of years ago. Did Paton, and he'll be looking to use this sort of game for some regular minutes and a chance to catch the boss's eye. He ended up last year with Dundee United, but before that, 17 in 36, 22 in 36 when playing for Queen of the South and Queen's Park. So a player that Leeds can't afford to switch off when trying to mark, but didn't carry that form into Port Vale colours, as Gray is in tremendous form this season for the 21s. There's 4 goals in 3. Tries but fails to wrestle Carl John off the ball. Offside flag goes up anyway. It's good going from Leeds with a back 5 and 3 defenders, but I'm guessing it's a little harder sometimes to stay switched on when you've got those full-backs in your periphery. It requires great communication.
No, it is, and especially when you're being used to just playing that 4 at the back. It's just getting your starting positions right, and then, as you mentioned, if the ball's kind of going to go down the sides of you, it's communication, not getting dragged out of position, staying alert and alive.
Back to Chadwick. Watched all the way by the Port Vale midfield. It's out to McDonald. I think Port Vale want to try and isolate these Leeds players, of course, for strength. They're much older, and I think they can outmuscle them. Donald to Pickles. Oh, just got caught in 2 minds. I think they're Pickles. To his credit, he has tried to lead the press to win it back for Leeds. He's worked very hard to do so. That's allowed Gray to just peel away. It's like an inside forward. Douglas with the press and gets the challenge in. There's a couple of appeals from both teams of who touched that ball last. It was Jack Shorrock that won his team a throw-in. He's just switched off a little bit, allowing Paton a free touch from the throw. Work from Leeds. Brockie and Gray. Wasn't all out pressurising Bent. It wasn't emptying the tank, but it was enough. It kept Port Vale guessing, and just simple movement. More importantly, as a group, everyone knew where they were supposed to be, has won them a throw. Yeah,
good positioning as well. Just forcing Port Vale into that kind of corner, not letting him get a switch of play out to Port Vale's right-hand side, and you can hear the encouragement coming from Scott Gardner. He's always vocal on the sidelines, his Scott, but the players listening to his instructions.
Touch from Lienou. McDonald was caught. He's felt the effects of that. And given the landing was bad enough, Cresswell thought Chadwick had stayed still. That wasn't the case. Ball in behind. Ombang is quick off his line. Magnificent control from Jaden Lienou. Now Paton's robbed Chadwick of possession. There's a little word with the referee. Brockie does the same, and Cresswell nips in. This game opening up a little bit. Chadwick cools everything with a calm pass backwards via Enahoro-Marcus to Lienou. Risky pass to Lopata-White. I'm sure he's delighted so far at the service he's had. Douglas waits for Brockie to get in position. Very faint offside appeals from the on the left-hand side, which just at the very last second put the arm up to appeal. I think it was Brown. Lienou into Pickles. Good movement, but he's a bit isolated, and Ojo just nips in, takes it from him. Now backed into a corner is Debrah, and Pickles trying to make sure he doesn't foul him. Again, Leeds just doing what they need to do. No silly mistakes. Forward it goes to Gray, who he's not happy. There's no inside run from Brockie. And I think because he wins the header, he certainly has a... Well, even if he doesn't, you've got to be there just in case. But he has a point. Once he wins it, he's done his part.
No, he has. And I think overall, 12 minutes about to be on the clock, that get some decent positions. Just needs a bit more belief.
Yeah, Enahoro-Marcus into Gray. Nice turn from him. Picks out McDonald.
Yeah.
Oh, really good finish. Zips under the goalkeeper. And Harry Gray gets an assist and a right smile from Josh McDonald. He's put it on target. The keeper may feel that he should have reacted better, but it's the power on the shot. Leeds take the lead in their opening game in the Vertu Trophy.
And we were just saying that they are getting into some decent positions, but maybe a lack of quality or that lack of belief we just mentioned, but we're on the front foot. Winning the ball high up the pitch, and then Harry Gray, couple of touches, lays it off McDonald, opts for the first time finish through the legs of the Port Vale defender, and the good thing for McDonald's finish is hit the target. That's all he can do. It's gone through the goalkeeper, and they'll be absolutely delighted with that, will Josh McDonald.
Yeah, I mean, trying to dissect it from a keeper's perspective, does he think the defender's getting to it? Because it is down the throat of the goal, but as you say, it's because he hits it first time, he has to force the keeper into something. And it's also a token and a nod towards Harry Gray, of course, with his scoring record. It's hard not to single him out single him out, should I say, every week, but it's the fact that he could have, if he had control of that, not amazingly, but he did. And some strikers would have gone, I've won this back, I'm turning the other way, and gone for goal. But the best chance was what he did. Yeah,
and it's that maturity of the players and the awareness on a pitch creeping into certain individuals' games. And yeah, of course, Harry Gray has got all the experience, or a lot more experience, being a young player out there for Leeds than most. And you know, there's times when he can go for goal himself, take players on, or they're just shown there, lay it off for his teammates in a better position.
Yeah, Port Vale are in a good position here, or they were. That's after some good work by Cresswell. Carl John gets any moisture off the ball. Just generally tells you there's only one thing coming, and this is a big pitch and a big area around the surface at Vale Park. Chadwick clears. Giving Gray a little bit of something to chase. Keeper's way off his line if anything goes wrong for Port Vale, which it doesn't. And they keep hold of possession. Good start, Ben, as well. You look at the record. I know Leeds won't take too much into that, but you know, Port Vale don't have a strong start to the year under Darren Moore. They're playing a group of youngsters. We'll just break off because there's an opportunity here for the home side. Ombang, good reactions. Could have spilled it. Leeds fans behind the goal are happy with his contribution. But yeah, just if you are going to try and unsettle the team that haven't got a good start to the year, an early goal will certainly do that.
Yeah, it will do. And the fact that Port Vale have got plenty of experience, don't write them off just yet. Only 15 minutes gone into the game, but you know, I think from our point of view, we're just starting to, again, get his foot on the ball, get a few passes, and that always helps just settle the team down.
Yeah, Lienou didn't feel like he could put the full challenge in there, and Ojo goes early. Ombang and Lopata-White hit into each other. I think they're okay. Yeah, it's a quick high five, but now Ombang's maybe felt the effects. I don't think Port Vale's fans believe him. Landed awkwardly on the left hip sort of area, but gets up quickly enough. I think that's a bit of, I think it's called gamesmanship. When he allows the rest of the Leeds defence to get back while he just has a quick second to assess his injuries.
Well, I wouldn't like to play poker against Darryl Ombang because he's giving absolutely nothing away there, is he, really?
Yeah, we'll need to work on his expressions while he's down. Here is John. Douglas glances it away, but it'll still tee up for a Port Vale player on the rebound. Cushioned back by Hall. Whipped in. Ombang was beaten. You feel like it was going inside the post. It's a good header by Ben Waine. As you rightly said, Ben, this is a team in a good standing in the Football League. They'll have their joy today. They'll have moments, they'll create chances, and they will be a bit more, I guess you'd say, industrious, a bit more Route 1, a bit more physical. So it's a test that Leeds handled last year at National League level in the Cup, but this is still another different ball game against higher class opposition, as they'll find out maybe just now as Ojo plays it out to Waine. Defence is being split, shot comes in, Ombang saves, he is offside. But yeah, if Darrell Ombang thought he was going to have a quiet night tonight, I think that may have those thoughts might have soon evaporated.
No, you're right in terms of playing against League One opposition. They are going to have an element of joy at certain moments within the game, and it's all about for ourselves, can we do our basics well in terms of, if we're playing out from the back, don't give the ball away cheaply, so we're exposed and it's easy for Port Vale to get at us, or a free header that they've had which just went wide of the upright. So yeah, we're doing some good things at the moment. Just a couple of those fundamentals just to brush up on and not allow Port Vale those easy opportunities. And you're almost saying to Port Vale's a League One outfit that if you are going to get on the score sheet, it's going to be good work from yourselves, and we're not going to give you a helping hand.
Pickles fought both ways there, and I think Port Vale were desperate for him to go to his right. It was Douglas, rolls it to Cresswell. It's going to be a little bit quicker. Good feet from Cresswell. Really smart play. Into Lienou. Up to Gray it goes. Back heel for Pickles. Drop of the shoulder. Leeds now have 3 on the far side. Chadwick outside is Douglas. Plays it inside to Lienou. Just took away from him that first touch. Had been a little bit sharper. You might have had a chance on that right peg of his, but just nice to see Ben the space that they opened up, the movement, the inside knowledge of each other's game. You know, the pitch opened up, and I think sometimes those you could have gone either way, and that may be why sometimes it breaks down, but they weren't that far away on that occasion. No,
and in these type of games it's easy just to keep 10-11 behind the ball, and if it goes up to your striker, you only have one in support.
Yeah, Enahoro-Marcus has been turned there, and it was by Brown. That's going to go out nice and calm, that from Lopata-White.
But going back to the kind of build-up play, we're getting loads of players committing. Just shows the confidence within the team and the structure they're able to go express themselves from. But again, these are just the simple little moments where a long throw can't enable the striker almost to have a 1v1 opportunity, which, let's be honest, it was a finish which is more like into one of mine Tom back in the day.
Gray's flick on it will be too far in front of Brockie, but again, that's twice now Gray's dropped in to win a header and done so. It's an avenue that Leeds may feel they'll have to exploit later in the game. Faal goes against Lopata-White. Garner just adjusting the notes. A few extra observations for him to relay to his team at half-time. John turns past Lienou, encouraged by the home crowd, but the Leeds defender was watching him all the way. Back it goes into Hall. Sorry, into, should I say, Gordon. And Gordon gets it forward and back out to Shorrock. Aiming for Shorrock was Shipley over here, and now it's back to Gordon. Here is holding out the heart of that defence, 20 minutes gone. No real rush, Ben, for Port Vale to try and get back into the game. John's flick on header, he's starting to come more into the picture as Waine fires across near post. It's into Brown, it'll go behind for a goal kick. I'm about to say, you know, Port Vale are not rushing, because I think they clearly look like they have that aura about them. We'll create chances tonight, there's no issues, and they created it just then. They don't have to be rampant. They feel the game will come in bursts for them tonight.
Yeah, and Kyle John in particular for Port Vale in that wing-back position on the right-hand side, he's been the real driving force. Bit of spark about his play, trying to drive his team back onto level terms.
Yeah, pass forward here for Port Vale. Cresswell's got to be careful. Brown lets fly. Just over the top of Ombang's goal. And again, it's got some venom behind it. That's the best effort he's produced tonight. The Port Vale number 10.
Again, just came from our overplaying or just not getting it right or making the correct decision on the ball. Keep turning the ball over in your defensive third against a League One outfit. Sooner or later, you're going to get punished. So it's up to the players just to problem solve on the pitch. Don't mind that going a little bit longer, trying to stretch the back three of Port Vale.
Yeah, great. Leading the charge up front. Lienou nips in with a header. A good one as well to pick out Cresswell. Good feet from Lopata-White. Pass though is a little short of McDonald. Now Port Vale on the attack. Here comes Ruin. Slots it in. Leeds' mistake finally is punished. Lopata-White couldn't get back goal side. And it's Rory Paton, should I say, that gets the goal. Too easy.
Yeah, and we'll just mention it only moments ago in terms of you've got to keep giving the ball away. A League One outfit with League One quality players, they are going to punish you. There's always going to be a matter of time, and we turn the ball over when we're exposed, players are out of position. It's a simple finish at the end for someone. Rory Paton's capabilities, you mentioned his goal scoring record in previous seasons, 1v1, he's not missing that opportunity.
Certainly not. And a lesson learned for Leeds' youngsters, as we often say. Those mistakes will get punished when you're playing against seasoned pros that have played professional football for a while. Douglas trying to get past Hall, who was given the nod that he had a bit of time on the ball. Well won back by Brockie. Into Pickles. Fizzed, or at least attempted to, towards Lienou, but Waine gets in the way. White to Chadwick, great vision. Carried by Pickles, brings it forward. Lienou was trying to feed McDonald, cleared away pretty convincingly up to Brown, who's starting to come into the picture tonight now. Port Vale's fans are happy with his contributions. Here is Ojo. Down the right is John. Brockie's got to help get back and watch the inside run of Ojo. Lienou gives John a nudge enough to put him off. The referee will give the advantage. In a dangerous position for Leeds United here. Enough of a foul in that for you, Ben, for a free kick?
Yeah, I just think in the end he just obviously tried to win the ball. Got more of the man, unfortunately. Referee was in a good position, and it's important that Ombang gets his wall set up. He's only opting for a two-man wall at the moment. Whether he adds to that will wait to be seen, but I expect him to go for goal. That's why I'm surprised it's only a two-man wall.
Good hands from Ombang, nice and controlled. No reason whatsoever from him to panic. Good height for a catch as well. And now he's released Douglas, who sets Leeds off on their way. He's aiming for Gray, but he's put a bit too much air, float and spin on that back pass. It lands nicely into the hands of Marosi. And the game just settled down now a little bit, and it's up to Leeds to find a way to upset the apple cart, try and get back on top if they can. Driving run. And a decent enough cross. Ombang with a neat routine catch from Liam Gordon's delivery. Kick goes Leeds' way. Foul on Douglas. He's picking up the pressure, and then the ball, Chadwick, into McDonald. Just forgot about it for a second. Still going though, McDonald. Let's fly. Shot is blocked. Lienou picks up the pieces. Gray's just peeling away at the far post. Lienou watches that Harry Gray's had his arms pulled by his side by Hall. Chadwick is now have a word with the referee. A couple of challenges he feels is it's deemed unfair by Jordan Shipley, just leaving one in. I think he'll be starting to see that's the other side of the game at this level. Here's Brown. Shipley wins it back. Looking to his left, he's picked out Paton. Well won back by Lopata-White, but any mistake from Leeds has been punished by Port Vale.
Yeah, it is, and they can sense that. The team in white, they're on the front foot, especially those passes, those straight passes into middle of the park. That's what they're wanting as a defensive unit at Port Vale. They're just ready to capitalise. They're on the front foot, which played into their hands, their traps. They're setting just a little bit too much last 5 or 10 minutes, so it's just important we just take the sting out of the game a little bit.
Looping ball forward from Cresswell, didn't reach Lienou. It'll fall to Waine, who goes back to Ojo. McDonald putting pressure on him. Leeds player in Lopata-White judged to a foul pattern. The referee's getting the card out easily here. There is no hesitation from him on that one. A foul off the ball results in the first card of the match 29 minutes in. Ruben Lopata-White is a judge to have done that, and you will see Reece Chadwick demonstrating because he feels he's been a victim of several pushes to the floor and late lunges. John wins the header. Cresswell picks up the pieces. McDonald. Douglas is running in behind. Oh, he spots him. Hits the arm. Referee shakes the head. Don't think Liam Gordon could have got the arm out of the way once it had hit him in the chest, then the upper bicep. Shame, Ben. The opportunity was there as well to pick out Douglas. You could see it. Everyone was, I think people were starting to get a bit excited about the prospect. We'll get your thoughts in a second because here is Paton. He's got two central. Fires it into that area. Waine picks it up. Goes for goal. Ombang wasn't expecting it. Falls and back to Paton. And Cresswell only just gets it way to Waine. Queuing up here, Port Vale. Finally, somebody in Leeds close will get their hands on the ball. There's a player down. And there will be a stoppage in the game.
Yeah, we just can't keep allowing ourselves to provide these opportunities for Port Vale. It's going to be a long evening. They're going to start to be more ruthless in front of goal. We're having to throw bodies on the line. You can see Cresswell is in a lot of pain. Couldn't even get rid of the clearance on that occasion. You're hoping for him for the remainder of the match. The captain is going to be okay to continue. The medical staff is on the pitch, so yeah, for ourselves, we're just making it more difficult than life needs to be. Because I think, as we've said throughout the first 30 minutes, we've done some good things. We've got into some good areas. I just think we're turning over the ball far too easy, and probably a good time to have this break in play. Scott Garner, Johnny Howson speaking to the players here. Almost just be like, just calm down, boys. It's okay. You're doing all right. Just be that bit a bit more proactive in possession. That's all we're lacking.
Yeah, instructions are plenty for Scott Gardner and his group. Cresswell gets assessed. The boot off. And now being reapplied, so I hope that that's a positive sign. But yeah, I mean, an academy team to be level after half an hour with a League One outfit. That will be changed, of course. There is changes to this team. But it's a case of stamina. Much easier for seasoned pros to maintain certain levels as Cresswell makes his way off the field. No real rush from anybody to get this game back underway. Backing in to Connor Hall, goes to ground. Ball gets its way to Brown. Chadwick wrestling to help Leeds get it back. Lopata-White flies in with 2 challenges. Chadwick is the one that is punished. We need for the centre half to panic when he's on a card, and the referee wants a word with Reece Chadwick. I think it's fair to say he likes to speak his mind. Likes to express himself. But he's already getting annoyed. Early doors. Break off because Douglas got some defending to do. In off the post. Jack Shorrock gets in behind. Slight switch up at the back and a teasing ball in. And Shorrock scores. 34 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, really poor goal to give away. 2 passes from that free kick in the middle of the park, and the ball's in the back of the net. Caught correctly there, Tom. Just switched off, 1 pass. There's the second, in behind. And there's a goal. They're the type of things which you might get away at under 21 level in the PL2. But in the Vertu Trophy, up against League One outfits, especially senior players as well, that's where you get punished, and that's the difference playing against these senior players.
So I finish in off the post, and as you say, Ben, easy enough. From a free kick, 2 passes and it's a goal. There'll be some real frustration amongst that midfield and defence and the coaching team. Good dummy from Brockie, releases Douglas, who gets away. Now he's driving forward, he's got Gray making a run into the channel, who picks it up, he lays it back into Chadwick, who has an effort. It's a lovely work move from Leeds United. Deserved a shot on target for the quality shown, but it is behind from Chadwick and it's a goal kick.
That really was, and I think that was the blueprint for the remainder of the game. That's what Leeds should be doing, playing with that energy, running off the ball, but decision making. They're not trying to worldy pass, they're not trying to try and create something where the space isn't there. They saw Harry Gray's run, they played him in, he takes the touch, lays it off, does the right thing. And as you said correctly, Tom, the only thing that move was lacking was an effort on target, but good build-up play.
Throw into Leeds, McDonald takes it quickly. It hits the hand there of Hall. Gray's furious, so is his teammates up there. Not sure who tapped the arm quicker, Ben Parker or Harry Gray. I thought you got an itch.
Well, the itch is still going because I'm campaigning now for Vertu Trophy to have VAR at all grounds for all fixtures, because guaranteed if that was Saturday 3 o'clock in the Premier League, it's getting a little word in his ears, the referee to go to the monitor on the side to reverse the decision, because has to be handball, does that.
John races away, Lienou's bursting backwards. There's a nudge from Paton, who's just all-manned him a little bit there. Big barge in the back, and the two have a little word with each other. It's a bit of fiery competition. And again, and that'll be a case where I think they'll be targeting each other for the rest of the game. Corner 1 for Port Vale.
Hearing these little things off the ball. Commissioner at Reece Chadwick just having a few words with the referee. He's not happy. A little bit of gamesmanship going on, but that's what you expect. That's what you're going to come up against. It doesn't happen too much, as we mentioned, under 21 level, but playing against these older pros, try and get into the minds of these young players.
Header up and over from Debrah, who's got up high, just past the penalty spot. And thankfully for Leeds, got his effort way over the crossbars to take it out from the back to Douglas. Chadwick wins a free kick from a foul by Hall. Pickles wins it back and then loses it with Paton, who plays it forward into Shorrock, who will look for his second in quick succession. Deflection helps it into the hands of Ombang. Just seeing that strength and the superiority in that department, Ben, start to come to the fore now for Port Vale.
Yeah, of course they're going to have the strength, but I just think we're enabling them to get into positions to kind of show it where it is best when we're moving the ball at a tempo, but not putting it at risk as well. We're not trying to play through the middle of the park when it's not on, or where there's a group of bodies. You can see Port Vale there, they've kind of clustered up. These positions are okay. They almost want us to play into that middle of the park in these situations, and it might seem on, but senior teams, senior players can set traps and quickly jump all over you.
Debrah's charging run, Lienou gets in front of him. That might not go for a throw-in. John wants to keep it in, but he decides not to. McDonald looking for Pickles, just gives it away in a key area, and Leeds just maybe been a touch guilty of being sloppy in possession recently. Pickles was looking for McDonald, the goal scorer of Leeds' goal, but it is a little bit overhit. Chadwick trying to keep the ball for Leeds. Back to Douglas, into Brockie. Laid off to Lopata-White, who wanted a bit more movement from a central position in front of him. Ombang over the head of McDonald. Enahoro-Marcus will bring down Brown. It's a pretty obvious challenge. Easy free kick, just goes down the side of the left ankle. Brown's managed to get past Cresswell. Waine wanted it in behind. Cresswell's come back for a second attempt. That is a tremendous challenge, considering where he was, the danger at stake. John concedes a throw-in. Two important challenges at either end of the pitch for both teams.
Yeah, Cresswell did so well. Initially thought because Brown had just got the opposite side of Cresswell, but we know he always gives 100%, never gives up, especially from a defensive point of view. Great challenge.
Yeah, Douglas just giving the ball away in a cheap area there. Put his team on the back foot. Here is Shorrock, back to Paton. Chadwick nips in. Vale now just had to win those second balls all around the halfway line. There's no resistance from Leeds. Late one from Brockie. Easy enough free kick for the referee to give for a foul on Gordon. Shipley picks up a loose pass, floats it in behind nobody. His team's colours on the same page. Gray wanted a free kick, gets one. Wants to take it quickly. Overhit. One of those central area. May have been very tough to deal with something and get something going from there, so he thought we'll try something different with a minute left.
Yeah, you don't mind the players trying to do something off the cuff, but we've not had much kind of territory and possession. That's probably 10 or so minutes. So you just think that area so close to half time, slow it down. Just try and get more bodies in around the box, try and create something. Going into the break, trying to get back on even terms.
Pickles gives it away when looking for Lienou. John steps in. Leeds have certainly been guilty of gifting Port Vale possession on probably more than 10 occasions tonight in key areas. It's difficult when you're playing against those experienced heads that have come up against this time and time again. As Ben said, it's not academy level this tonight. It's against a team of professional League One footballers. And 3 goals and slight delay for an injury to Cresswell. You're probably looking at, I was going to say maybe 5 as max. 3 minutes is the signalled stoppage time. Pickles slides in, wins it back. Referee gives the free kick. Contentious enough that the ball kept moving, but he had a good view. Pickles doesn't agree regardless.
Yeah, I thought he got the ball, so I thought it was a fair challenge from Pickles, but again, just in a promising area, just like a fundamental, just a mistake, just switching off in terms of the pace of the pass or the direction where it needs to be received on the ball, or the player receiving the ball. So, yeah, Debrah in shot. He'll be relatively pleased with his Port Vale players showing, but from a Leeds perspective, Scott Gardner and Johnny Howson and the remainder coaching staff, the half-time will come at a good time just to give the simple messages to the players saying, we're bang in this game. We can just brush up on just doing the basics well, especially playing out from the back. This game can still get back into it.
Challenging midfield, some passionate shouts coming in, and Pickles gets a card. to Ombang. He's just trying to play this half out. It's a risky pass, though, doesn't need to be made. Shorrock takes it out for a goal kick. This should be the last action of the first half. There does go the half-time whistle. So Leeds raced into the lead in 12 minutes with McDonald firing in from Gray's assist. Only for Paton and Shorrock to put Leeds 2-1 behind. That experience and just that management of a game starting to come through for Port Vale, who are currently leading as they search for their first win of the new season. But join us for second half commentary in this Vertu Trophy game in around 15 minutes' time. Welcome back to LUTV's coverage. There's a change at half-time for Port Vale as Ben Heneghan has replaced Jesse Debrah. Perhaps a pre-planned change for a club in League One looking to build some minutes and ready themselves for what they will hope is their first win. Leeds United's 21s will hope to stop that 2-1 as we restart this second half to Port Vale. McDonald opened the scoring for Leeds, only for Rory Paton. Jack Shorrock to then get Port Vale in front. Leeds just were guilty of giving away a lot of cheap possession at times in the first half. Towards the end of it, started brightly, were competing fairly, and of course the main thing is that they're going to have to get used to being playing second fiddle at times in these games and learn to absorb pressure, Ben, because they're playing League One, League Two outfits. They are going to be stronger in certain areas and more experienced, and it's up to Leeds when they get into key areas to take their chances. It's a tough ask, but a young group that won the National League Cup last year will believe in themselves as Chadwick turns away from Paton into Lopata-White, feeds it further wide to Douglas. Chadwick goes back to Cresswell. Leeds go with Ombang, Douglas, Lienou, Cresswell, Lopata-White, who's on a card, Enahoro-Marcus, Brockie, Chadwick, Gray, Pickles, who's also carded, and McDonald. Douglas trying to play it centrally, given away, but Leeds win it back in the shape of McDonald. It deflects in its way to Brockie, who doesn't wait for the overlapping run. Went to try and pick out Pickles. It'll be collected by Gray, who stands on the ball to retrieve it. Pickles beaten to it, couldn't throw himself into the challenge due to his caution. And from a comfortable bit of possession, a bit of pinball in midfield, it is now Port Vale attacking Ben with Ojo. But yeah, this game certainly started brighter than the first half. Not sure whether that suits Leeds or not, but a big challenge for 45 minutes. I guess would the message be, Scott Gardner, to not let the game fade away from you?
Yeah, definitely, and I think also knowing and accepting a League One outfit are going to have their moments within the game, but it's just, can we limit those opportunities, limit those chances that Port Vale seem to have plenty in the first half, and where it's last-ditch defending, good goalkeeping, poor finishing, combination of all three, but it's only a goal in it, and I think that's the kind of key takeaway from it. I think we give the ball away cheaply at times, but to just be a goal behind, going into the second 45, should give the players plenty of confidence they can get back into this game.
Good turn from Lienou, but just loses his foot at the last second. Not really sure his reaction suggested he was pleased with the pass. Pressure from Gray forces a mistake. Pickles makes one of his own, but he retrieves it to go and find Chadwick. McDonald to Gray, intercepted by Gordon. Pass from Enahoro-Marcus, releases Chadwick. Running forward, gets caught late. Advantage played by the referee. Brockie. Wide to Gray. Gray drops the shoulder. Now tries to fire it across. Just got his execution wrong. claimed it took a touch on its way. And his appeals are not being heard at first. Still confident. I don't think the referee is buying it. It is going to be a goal kick. I mean, Chadwick was caught late, but a brave pass, brave run, and just didn't come off. But again, it's hard for Leeds. You know, everything has to click when they've got a chance because of the fact they're playing against such an experienced team. Yeah,
I think it'll click even more if we can get Harry Gray even more involved into this game. He was the one who had the assist for the opening goal of the night. But as we've seen in the part of the season, he likes to drift into that left-hand channel. Can be difficult for defenders to pick him up. Hopefully he can drift into those areas a little bit more, get a bit more freedom.
Cutback comes in, but a block by Lopata-White. Here is Douglas. Good work from Leeds. Brockie out to Gray, who's got the legs driving forward, needs a bit of help. Under pressure from Hall all the time. Gray fancies the challenge. Hall stands him up, but then pulls him to the ground. It's got to be a free kick, and it is. Port Vale's fans are surprised, but I mean, Harry Gray had lost the ball, but he was running on the inside. He was away, and the Port Vale player made sure he couldn't get there. No?
That's why I looked at it as well. And initially, I just thought it was an honest challenge between the captain of Port Vale, Conor Hall, and young Harry Gray. You can see Conor Hall won the ball, but then the experienced defenders just grabbing onto Harry Gray, as you said, just so drags him to the floor. They can't get back up and get onto the loose ball. Good decision in the end.
Arm up from Chadwick. You got 5 blue shirts in the middle. Cleared away by Hall. It'll fall out towards Douglas, who thrashes it towards goal just past the near post. Good effort from the winger.
Good delivery in by Chadwick as well, plenty of pace. What Leeds do well, get the men positioned in the right places on the edge of the box, stop a counter attack. Good technique by Conor Douglas, but always just going wide.
John shields possession for his teammates, gets it back, goes to Ojo, who's got space, perhaps a bit too much for Leeds. It's midfield for Shipley, works wide to Jack Shorrock. Good challenge from Brockie, who's really stood up to the challenge tonight in terms of the aerial threats, and then the 50-50s. Had a slow enough start to his season in terms of in and out of the team. Of course, such a young player, but tonight he's certainly worked hard for the cause.
Yeah, it's great to see Devin Brockie just getting minutes back on the grass. He's had plenty of injury issues throughout his scholarship with the club. So for just him personally back out playing regular minutes, back involved, match day squads, do his confidence a world of good.
Brown. Short turns it into the goal, but Cresswell clears. Hall beats Gray to it. Lopata-White with a header. Chadwick gets it back to Lopata-White. Paton wins it back for Port Vale. Douglas picks the ball away from him. Lopata-White scoops it down the line towards Gray. Shields it from Hall, who then pulls him back. Referee has a glance. Will now give the free kick. Should be carded, you feel, if he thinks it's time wasted on off the ball. And I do think Harry Gray might have won one there for Leeds. He's done very well. There was certainly contact, but he's got at the number 5. There's no real complaints, but it's just good old-fashioned striker play.
Yeah, it did well initially because the ball was spinning, coming down to him at a height. Wasn't favourite at all to keep hold of possession, and I think that's just annoyed the Port Vale captain. Cynical, just dragging him down off the ball.
They're just starting to win a few more of these 50-50s. Brown gives away a free kick. Home support not happy. Douglas gets it to Brockie. Inside is Cresswell. He went early to Gray. Picked up in midfield by Chadwick. Back to Brockie. Chadwick's making a run forward. Brockie carries it forward, slips as he hits it. Deflected though, nearly fell for McDonald to have a proper shot. It was more of a poked effort in the end. Glancing, any contact will do, and he just blazes it over the bar. But from Brockie slipping, it actually nearly worked into a proper chance.
Yeah, gets himself in a good position, does Brockie. Just drives into his left foot. Yeah, slips, nearly get a bit of fortune by the ball falling to McDonald, but that's all it takes. That's all the Leeds players have got to bear in mind. Try and do the basics and fundamentals right and try and get a chance at the other end, but defending to do now.
Yeah, Brown, Lopata-White try to slow him down. Enahoro-Marcus stands him up, does well. A big gap in behind there for Leeds, too many players pushing forward. Douglas tries to float it over the top, he's given it away. Brown picks up that pass. Well covered by Pickles with Paton primed to strike. Shipley to John. McDonald closest to him, putting the pressure on. Heavy pass from Paton, he will be frustrated with himself. Challenge over the top there. Lienou's pointing to the shin. It's Carl John that is getting a yellow card for that challenge. So we are all square on the card front, 2 apiece. Pressuring from Leeds, picked up by Chadwick, went the wrong way with the header, but again wasn't to know. Shorrock being told to come back. Pace just dropped off a little bit, Ben.
No, it has, and I think it'll suit Leeds a lot more than it will Port Vale, because make it a bit more scrappy now, kind of rhythm, the game not being too stretched, just enables just to get into these positions a little bit more.
Here is Gray. Enahoro-Marcus wide to Chadwick. Now Douglas. Picked up by Chadwick. Gray making a forward run. Chadwick's going to carry it. Tries to squeeze it round the side corner to Brockie. Drilled by him. It doesn't get past Chadwick. It'll be a corner. Chadwick couldn't get the feet out of the way quick enough. And Heneghan turns it behind.
Having a decent little spell at the moment, last 5 minutes or so. As you mentioned, there's nothing too much happening within the game, but it's suiting Leeds. Unfortunately, it's just gone out for a throw-in rather than a corner kick, but well, it's enabling just the young team in blue just to get into these positions and sustain a bit of pressure.
Cresswell holds off Paton. Turned inside to Gray. Beautiful work from Gray, just didn't have a run at. They blocked that off Port Vale. And Marosi just watches the ball float into his box, goes and retrieves it. Intercepted by Pickles. Just a tiny drop off in the intensity by Port Vale, whether they're feeling the pace. Of course, this is not a regular starting 11 for them, so players not fully match fit, you'd feel, even at this stage of the season. Gray to Chadwick, just a touch heavy. Ojo was set waiting for him, wins it back. Now drives forward for Port Vale. Douglas, and it was Cresswell that caught him. That Ronan Curtis is being prepared, so experienced campaigner at a high level. Headley's also been told to come on, so Shorrock is first off. Headley is on. Curtis will replace Dejuan Brown. Maybe a notice from Darren Moore-Bell that the game is just losing. They've not got full grip on it, so a couple of alterations to try and reaffirm that.
Yeah, and almost it's a mark of respect to this young Leeds outfit. Hour on the clock, and still really firmly into this game and contest our Leeds, and it's enabling Port Vale then to react to that. A couple more experienced players coming onto the pitch just shows you what Darren Moore's thinking about this game at the moment.
Into free kick. With several players being that enthusiastic to get for the ball, they all run into each other. Bizarre free kick. Great news for us, but ever done that, Ben, from left back? Just played a free kick out to the side of the pitch?
No comment.
Free kick for a foul by Chadwick, who is pointing at the culprit.
I think we're just enabling to get in the heads and minds of the Port Vale players, just agitating them, annoying them a little bit, doing a lot of things off the ball. They're not concentrating on their own game, really, and yeah, that's just enabling us to just get more of a foothold longer the second half keeps continuing.
Cresswell gets caught. 4-on-2. Curtis will have a go. More than a go. Emphatic finish. 3-1. There is that first team class of Port Vale's Ronan Curtis to give his team a 2-goal cushion.
That's a brilliant finish. Disappointing element is that we give him the opportunity by giving the ball away in a dangerous area yet again. You said it right though, Tom. It is league win class. Some finish from edge of the box. Smashes into the top corner. Opens up a 2-goal advantage.
You said earlier though about central. They've wanted Leeds to go central. Another example of it there?
Yeah, it is, and I know part of that is our game plan, and it's important not to go completely away from how you want to set up. Always believe in yourself and your team and how you want to have your patterns of play, but it's just knowing when to do it and doing it in the right areas, and the players knowing on the pitch as well. That's the more important thing. You know, you're going to receive the ball and you might have a little bit more time in the PL2 in the under-21 league, but at this stage, this competition, you're not going to have that time, unfortunately. It's going to just be a little bit quicker. The margins are a bit more finer at this level, and sometimes you find out the hard way.
John on the attack there. Paton trying to get to the second pass. Cresswell caught late by Curtis. Referee went to put the whistle to the mouth. Free kick. Can't say that the Port Vale fans haven't been passionate tonight. Here's Chadwick. Cresswell's alongside him. Just gone over the boil here. Cresswell's involved. Lienou getting some support as well. Liam Gordon leads his youngsters, try to rile up the Port Vale players. It's all kicked off a little bit.
I actually quite like him, not going to lie. It's good to see the young players sticking up for themselves, teammates as well, backing one another. Yeah, as long as you don't go over the top, and first glance, nothing went over the top whatsoever, and the referees will just do well just to speak to the players, calm them down. He's getting his cards out. I think it really warrants that, just a bit of a communication, calm everything down. But yeah, sometimes it's good to kind of see from the young players.
Yes, he didn't like. He's claiming the charge was late. It was late. But then put the arm across the chest of Alfie Cresswell, who, I mean, annoyingly for Gordon, laughed at him. Then he got Lienou involved. 1 in all in was the mantra there. It does look like it's Louis Dudley that's getting ready to come on for Leeds United. Replaces Devon Brockie, who, good night tonight for him. As you said, Ben, injuries, problems to get in and out of the team. As a youngster that just needs a run of games, and to get, you know, that sharpness back to actually show what he can do, he has to have minutes. And tonight, 65, 66, he didn't do too much wrong.
No, not all. And like I say, for him personally, it's just those building blocks, getting more minutes under his belt, training consistently. So, yeah, I'll do him a world of good this tonight.
Ball into the channel. Waine goes for it. Good work by Lopata-White racing across. Lienou picks it up and goes down the line. Great. Charging forward. Winds up the clock almost and just get a big burst of energy. Curtis. I think for those are quite hard to give. He runs into Douglas. Douglas can't stop. But there's someone in the Port Vale crowd that does not like Leeds United and any of our players.
Yeah, he's got an issue with the referee by the sounds of it as well. He's not letting him get off the hook.
I mean, that was a fair chance to go for Enahoro-Marcus. He might not have got the full contact on the ball, but he's becoming you see it in the Premier League and other leagues around the world now. It's becoming less of a contact sport. Yeah, if fair enough, that is a free kick. The referee thinks he didn't get to the ball first. Not sure if it's worth a talking to. This might be the fact he showed dissent, which is why he's getting the extra explanation.
Yeah, sometimes I just think keep it simple. It's a foul, it's a free kick. Get on with it.
Well, having seen Ronan Curtis hit one, Ombang will be prepared for a powerful effort. Most impressive thing about Curtis is that he's lining up left-footed. Paton instead. Just around the wall, but thankfully for Leeds around the post. 22 minutes to go. Yeah, you've got a really young bench out there tonight. You've got George Kenyon. You've got Njinko. Pirie's been on the bench for a couple of games, but barely got any minutes. Under 18 striker from last season. Mills, Whitehead, Firth. Firth got a start in the first game of the season. So this is a very inexperienced team. Mistake here as Paton's on. Off instead, in fact, a delay as he thumps it into the corner of the goal. It was a good finish. Thankfully for Leeds, though, the linesman on the far side saw something he wasn't happy with, and it stays at 3-1.
Yeah, it was a tight decision. Really was, but again, we get the ball away. Tight areas, tight decision as well. Get the benefit of the doubt, thankfully. Just about keeps us in this game tonight. But it's a good point about the bench. It is young. I think the alteration, if he's going to be bringing some more off the subs bench, just got kind of look to alter the formation, the system as well. Maybe just to unsettle Port Vale. On the flip side of that, it might just enable Port Vale just to have a little bit more space in between the lines, especially in that midfield area. That's where we've tried to plug it by playing free at the back with Cresswell pushing into midfield as well. But all it takes is just that one goal. Can Leeds get that second goal just to put a bit of nerves and doubt into that Port Vale team and in the stands as well.
Goes to Chadwick. There's a offside appeals. Gray works the 1-2. Oh, it's so unfortunate. It's not less power, but he's kept it alive. Drills it low and hard. It might fall. Nearly did for Pickles. Just an extra second of breathing space. He would have got that. And can Leeds maybe just try to thrive in the fact that the referee is getting a bit of a hounding from the crowd? Clearly, the home support is not happy. Leeds normally thrive in those sort of occasions, backs against the walls, this young group. Chadwick prepares the latest set piece. Right to the far post. Back in by McDonald. Keeper gets a hand to it. Cresswell. McDonald gets a second bite of the cherry if he can get it away. He can't. It's back to Douglas. Doesn't get the height he wants on the cross. Watched by Dudley. Lienou needs the shout. Very calm from Ombang. Not even just the reading of the game, but that little side-footed pass. Not sure many of the Leeds keepers you played with would be not only where he was, but can produce that.
The fact that it came off Ombang's shin and calf combined doesn't make a difference because it's very cool and calm. And yeah, I can think of a couple of keepers who would have just put the foot through that into Rose head. But they've got to take those kind of chances now into the final 20 minutes plus stoppage. So that little kind of passage of play where we force the corner kick, can we create something out of nothing? But for Port Vale, they've got the ball in the right area, pitch down, corner kick for themselves.
Yeah, 1,049 in the crowd. I believe it's where tens of 118 that have made their way in that away end for Leeds United. Behind the goal, they're attacking now. Pickles launches it towards Gray. Yeah, that would have been a good cut back as Ojo thumps it long and clears for a goal kick. Pirie will get some minutes. He is going to replace Josh McDonald. Smart finish. It's like a long time ago since that bent when he scored the opening goal.
No, it does, and For McDonald again. Cast your mind back to that cup final end of last season when he came off with that injury, and he's built himself up in pre-season, started this season as well. So that goal will do him a world of good for in the next few weeks or so, going into the league campaign and beyond. So good for him, but good opportunity for Pirie coming onto the pitch. Can he showcase what he can do in an attacking sense?
Corner ball, much to Leeds' frustration. Beyond Ombang. What was the sub having a go from there? That was Heneghan. Got up higher than anybody else. Another good delivery. Faal will make his way onto the pitch for Paton, who gets a applause from the home crowd. Goal scorer of the second. Big towering frame. Surely Leeds youngsters are delighted to see that powerhouse enter the fray. Dudley was told to gamble there, which he did. He tried to win the ball high at the pitch for Leeds. Good work from Headley. Referee wanted to give the free kick at first, changed his mind. Don't think that'll please the home fans that already don't think he's had much of a good game. Here's Chadwick. He's gone two up front. Chadwick carries it. Here's Shipley hanging onto his shirt. Gets it in the box somehow towards Gray. Here's Pirie backing in all the time. Hall just bounces him off, and it's just the sheer strength, age and experience of an under-18 striker against a professional that was instrumental last year in their promotion. But to their credit, Ben, there is no sign of any quip, this young team.
No, there isn't. They're still trying to do the right things. Still pushing forward. One thing you would say about this young Leeds team, the heads haven't dropped at any point. Even if they've made a mistake, the goals that Port Vale have scored, at no moment has the confidence dropped at all.
Shipley goes wide, picks out Gordon. John's ball in, headed away by Cresswell. Chadwick pops it to Pickles and gives Lienou a chance to open up the legs. Difficult to pick the angle for the pass. He had to go for power. Pirie will chase it down. Comes off of his line, Lopata-White with the back heel. Tried the crossfield ball. Just dropping off a little bit in terms of their pressure from midfield. got some tired legs in there, the likes of Ojo, Shipley. Should be interested to see if Leeds can get enough chances, Ben, to try and get a second goal, how that would change the momentum of this match.
Yeah, we were just saying, weren't we, not too long ago, if we did get that second goal, what feel would it create inside the stadium from supporters' point of view, but also for the Port Vale players. Yeah, they're experienced, but they did concede a goal. I'd like to think we'd compile a bit more pressure on and just see how they react from that.
Foul on Cresswell from Faal. The change. See Croasdale come on. And Carl John makes way. A lot of dud of that down the line. Into the final 10 we go. Be a tall order to get a draw from here, but Scott Gardner's side can lose with confidence going into the next games of this competition. They also played, as we said earlier, Accrington, Stanley and Fleetwood. Chadwick trying to get away from Ojo. Into Cresswell. And behind they go with Faal. Port Vale looking for a fourth that would seal the deal. Misplaced pass, and you've got 5 or 6 shirts out of position, but the pass from Pickles to Chadwick. Mentioned tiredness earlier, mentally, and fatigue. You know, that's, in a nutshell, Leeds had a 4-on-3 themselves if they'd have got that right.
Yeah, it is, and again, as young players, you learn to develop these kind of attributes when you are a bit tired mentally, you're still making the right decision and the right pass.
Here is Lienou. Touch this time from Douglas, just shows too much of it to Shipley. To put Leeds on the back foot. Here's Curtis, goal scorer of Port Vale's third. Good ball in, well dealt with by Enahoro-Marcus. Not had it easy tonight, the youngster. He's feeling the effects of the hard work he's had to put in. But positioning, reading of the game, Ben, spot on there from the youngster.
No, it was. And it's all about positioning and being in that situation as a defender. Can be tricky running back towards and facing your own goal, but just gets on a good body angle at the final moment, clears the danger and wins a free kick. Good defending.
White giving it away, maybe try to force it forward. He's trying to take the shackles off a little bit and find a way through. Good pass out the back from Port Vale through the angle. Chadwick with the foul. A little glance perhaps suggests he knew it as well.
Yeah, he did. It was a good one to give away as well. I think he was half expecting a yellow card. And if he didn't make that challenge, I think it's going to be a simple pass in behind the back line. I think the yellow card did arrive eventually. Probably a message from the fourth official on the sideline, but I think I'd take a yellow card all day long.
Curtis straight into the wall. Gray try to back in. Ombang comes. Slight punch on the ball. Out to Gray, who's trying to keep the ball now himself. Just lost that usual zip about him again. Just a tired night. Played a good few matches for the 21s in recent weeks. That's great. Moans from the home crowd. Dudley dives in, Pirie gets back, concedes the corner, 5 minutes of normal time left. Curtis' delivery to the far post. Free header. And Faal gets in. Enahoro-Marcus went with him, but he was coming at the ball on an angle. It is 87 minutes, 6 on the clock, and the fourth goal for Port Vale.
We were talking about having tired minds and just switch off ever so slightly. Good ball into the box. A big tall striker like that isn't going to miss opportunities. He's running onto the ball. Free header. Finds the bottom corner off inside of the post, and it's far too much space in the end, and that'll be game, set and match.
Yeah, Enahoro-Marcus did jump with him, but you could see that the angle was perfect for the centre forward. Bit of a kick in the teeth that for Leeds, who made me feel the scoreline's a bit unjust, but you know, I know a lot of people don't believe that's a thing in football. You get what you deserve, and mistakes have led Leeds to this situation. They might get a chance for a second. Lienou, Gray's bursting forward, cleared away at the near post, I think by Gordon, who's hurt himself in doing so. Lienou got a chance to stretch the legs. I think Gray, appreciating the pass, he's put it into an area that was begging for a touch. Sadly for Port Vale, it came from their player that's come second best at the post.
Yeah, just not sure how the ball's not found its way into the back of the net. Loads of space on the left-hand side. Drives in towards the box, and two Leeds shirts waiting for the cross. You're just thinking either it's going to be a tap-in for the likes of Harry Gray or consolation of an own goal, but the ball finds its way out for a corner kick on the far side somehow.
Post delivery. Lienou trying to have a go at it. Two Port Vale players getting each other's way. Ojob wanting a free kick here. Challenge from Cresswell. Mistake here. Here's Pickles, try to get onto his stronger right foot for Douglas, off the frame of the goal. Tight angle. Keeper dived the right way, but if that's an inch further inside, we might have our second Leeds United goal of the evening. Yeah,
and you know, kind of Douglas's face and reaction suggests he backed himself to find back of the net. Yeah, unlucky to hit the upright, but good pressing by Leeds, high up the pitch, forcing the mistake. Hindsight, maybe Douglas could have gone to the opposite side, bit more space to the goalkeeper's right, opted to try and catch him out his near post. Unlucky to hit the upright.
Touch from Dudley, manages to keep it going forwards for Leeds, but eventually runs into traffic. Stoppage time awaits. Minutes. Comes Curtis, inside pass, works the 1-2. Ojo back to Curtis, looking for an avenue, squeezes it through. Curtis across the front post, Ombang gets down to it. And it is 4-1, but I do think Darryl Ombang's made some good contributions to tonight's match.
Yeah, he has. I think it's been cool and calm, and that's what you want for a goalkeeper to be, and his decision making when he's have to come outside his box to clear his lines or just sweep up from behind is, yeah, he's done well. Not to blame for any of the goals at all, so it'll be, I won't say pleasing tonight where it never will be conceding 4 goals, but he's done some decent things back there.
White. Dudley to Douglas. Keeps hold of the ball. Leads it off to the edge of the box for Gray. Good drop of the shoulder. Gets out of his feet. Leans back at the worst time. Behind for a goal kick. Balling behind for Waine. Ombang makes a vital contribution to his right. Again, stayed big and dived late. No sign of panic. Been a major plus point for this youngster tonight in goal.
Yeah, and the key thing there you mentioned, just stayed tall, stayed big to the final moment. Good right hand just to push the ball away.
Glancing header towards Faal. Port Vale, I think, even want the clock to go now. They've got their first win of the season. This should be a learning curve for Leeds, but it's the toughest game in the group for them. In the Vertu trophy, they'll be eager to improve against Accrington and Fleetwood. Ball over the top gives Gray something to chase. He's not got much company up there. Chadwick furthest with him. Still going great. Tries to dink it to the far post. Run and Curtis is back there to help out. And there goes the full-time whistle as Port Vale start their campaign with a win. Down Moore's side. Very clinical in the final third. And this young Leeds team showed flashes of what they can do. Errors along the way as well. It's all part of the experience when they get to the end of the campaign that they've learned from them. But the only goal for Leeds, McDonald, then all the efforts coming after that. Paton, Shorrock, Curtis and Faal Thank you for joining us again here on LETV this evening. We'll be back soon for more coverage, but enjoy the rest of your evening.